ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. And by bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions, by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry giant and veteran on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Rajesh Mehrotra. He carries an illustrious career in the automotive industry, spanning over 3 decades, characterized by visionary leadership, strategic acumen, and unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction. He has been a trailblazer in the automotive sector, particularly in India, where he has spearheaded network expansion initiatives, achieved remarkable levels of customer satisfaction, and established a robust service network for businesses. Amongst his noteworthy achievements is the development of his strategic thinking, which has revolutionized dealer relationship by placing a premium on improving brand recognition while maximizing expenses and increasing revenues. In his last role as director and national head of after-sales service at Morris Garage Motor India Private Limited, he has been instrumental in spearheading nationwide after-sales service operations, achieving preeminent stature in both network expansion and customer satisfaction. Under his leadership, the company secured the topmost rank in the JD Power Customer Satisfaction Survey for 3 consecutive years, that is 2021, 22, and 23, while also attaining the 2nd position in the Dealer Satisfaction Survey during the inaugural year of operations. A remarkable feat he has managed to achieve. At present, he is giving his invaluable service in the form of an independent automotive consultant. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Mehrotra.
Thank you so much. I think it's been a perfect introduction. Thank you so much for that. And personally, I'm honored to be a part of such forum where I can share about my journey and the achievements.
So to begin with, Mr. Mehrotra, could you let our viewers know in brief about your career journey so far?
Yeah, sure. I think the time has just flown by. The 30 plus years, I started off my journey way back in 91. The start of the career was with GCM Toyota, Daewoo Motor, followed by Toyota Kirloskar Motors, Hyundai, my Nissan Sting in Oman, which was overseas experience which I got, and then followed by MG Motor. And now from this year onwards, I started a new journey of independent automotive consultant, and also the certification of independent director is going to help me going forward. I started up from a humble background, from a small town in UP, and I think the experience so far have been so amazing. I've been in the field of after sales, which is a service industry. And for a customer or consumer in India or anywhere abroad, car or owning an asset like car is the second biggest, decision anyone makes. And I have been fortunate to be attached with such a remarkable OEMs who have been there in the country and have proven every time right in terms of how to take care of the customers. And I've been quite pleased the way the things have come out over the years. As you can understand, consumers are now exposed to a lot of global experience. The hospitality industry, their expectation from the services is enormous. The car you buy for one time, but the car is serviced for lifetime. And each experience is so important that they start, you as a consumer and you yourself will think about that every time I'm driving the car, it is perfect. There's no problem comes, etc., etc. And the reality of the situation is, even if the one car is serviced at one point of time, there are almost 15 to 16 people or processes who touch the car or touch the person. Any link goes wrong can create a dissatisfaction. In that scenario, I think I'm quite pleased the way the things has come out over the years, where independent agency like JD Power has rated number one in my most of the companies where I've been, and the best one has come with the MG Motor, where the inaugural year itself, 3 years in succession, you have been compared with other car manufacturer and rated number one in the country, which no one so far could achieve. So I think that has been a kind of satisfaction which gives to me that, all these years, all these effort with the evolving, changing requirement and expectation, able to deliver, and now ready to support others with my new journey of independent consultant and using my certification of independent director.
So, Mehrotra, thank you for the excellent start to this interview. And I must say, your career journey is truly inspiring. Absolutely. So, moving ahead and talking about professionalism. So, what are some values that you consider to be the basis of your professionalism?
I think I spoke in my opening itself, the customer. The customer centricity plays the utmost part in my view, the value system which I carry, and so the team which I have driven. So if I talk about it, there are three things at the top of my mind. One is the customer centricity, that whatever you do in terms of your product life cycle management and customer management has to be top notch. And you have to continue to evolve your deliverables to meet what customer need today. One would have bought the car, maybe a vehicle, maybe a couple of years back, but he's still using it. And today his expectation could be different. So you have to keep evolving on that and continue to deliver on that. That's on the customer centricity. The second value of, the drivers have been on, I would say, a transparency, how well you are able to communicate in the right perspective to the consumer, how well you are able to connect and deliver through your dealer partner. End of it, the vehicle manufacturer is one location. But you have hundreds of sales point, hundreds of after sales point who touch and connect with the consumer every time. So while I would be in my office, or my team would be in office, or they will be traveling in dealer locations, but if you see that, close to 100,000 cars would be serviced every day in the country. You cannot see everything happening. You're dependent on the set of knowledge you give to the people, the set of skill set you develop on that. And with that, you are able to communicate and deliver through your dealer partners, right? So from that point of view, the transparency of communications, the transparency of, services, the transparency of the charges, and God forbid something is not right, you are able to reach out to the consumer and do the things at the right time. The third part, I would say, team management. I believe you are as good as your team. So end of it, when I say team, it is not only the OEM who's manufactured the car and their after sales team, which I've been managing over the years, but also the dealer team. As I said, there are hundreds of people in one workshop. Now, when I say I'm not managing it directly, but then at the same time, we are developing them to deliver the goods and services in the right perspective, right? So from that point of view, that how you manage your own team and how you're able to connect with the dealer team so that they know your value system, they know how to deliver it, and they are able to catch up even if there's something goes wrong. The human can make an error, but how well you are able to catch up on that. So that's where I will say the three things: customer centricity, transparency, and the teamwork.
That sounds incredible. So building on to that, Mr. Mehrotra, you have been honored with several awards for outstanding achievements. So which of them do you cherish the most?
Once again, I would say that it is the customer satisfaction. The consumer rate you rather than you rate yourself. So every organization try to assess the goods and services by way of certain assessments. That is more of, little more proactive improvement on your services. If something is not happening right, there's always a possibility, the graph can go down because you continue to do the same thing day and night. but how well you're able to come back to the normalcy, that is a critical for the operation, the operation which I managed over the years. However, I think when it is judged by independent agency and they are comparing the likes of your competitor, that you are number one, you have beaten them across in terms of customer satisfaction, and you led the organization to the number one. I think that is a testimonial of whatever I have achieved, and that's the biggest one I rate. I have been thankful that with the help of partners and team, that most of the organization we have been able to either finish a podium finish, or as I said, the last organization I served three number one in succession. So I think that give you a different level of kick. It's not easy because it's good to say that you see that yourself in number one position, but there are a lot of things goes in terms of efforts, absolute minutest of the deliverables, where the things can go wrong, proactively assessing about how the things would be, and then you are able to match up to the evolving and increasing customer expectation. So from that point of view, I would say the CSI, which I got from the independent agency JD Power, has been something I will cherish for the lifetime.
Amazing, amazing. So now that we have discussed your career journey, your professional pursuits, your achievements, let's move on to the subject of ESG and corporate governance. So here is my question to you, and a very obvious one. How and when did you develop an interest in ESG and corporate governance?
I would not say that the interest has developed. I think it has got imbibed in me. Cars or automotive for that matter, any two-wheeler, four-wheeler for that matter, they are considered as one of the biggest contributor towards the pollutants, right? And within our country, so far we have not seen the end of life. So you see the mass growing up every time, and I have been fortunate to be attached with leading global manufacturers. Now that brings a lot of sensitivity, even if you are not being exposed formally at the ESG or compliance, but you end up doing a lot of things to see that you are not either making the vehicle which is pollutant, or how do you take care of the consumer and their vehicles who are running the cars with the right maintenance and so on. So I think it becomes very important that for a person like me who has been in the industry of automotive, this got into my blood long time back when I got associated. But as you start moving into the leadership journey, and then you realize what exactly whatever probably we would have done as an individual need to do more, and that's where the more focus toward ESG comes in. As a matter of fact, almost 400,000, I'm talking about only the cars, the 4 lakh cars are getting on Indian road every year. Now you keep adding up whatever already the mass available on the road. And the future, the way the India is growing, the numbers is going to grow up. Though there is an offset which will be happening with electric vehicles, that the awareness and the penetration will be continue to grow. But ICE vehicle continue to be on the road, and the good percentage is still continue to be there. So I think it become important that all the ESG related factors and governance, because it's not just ESG, but also how you do the things, how you develop the product, how you deliver the product. What you deliver it today, it is used by the consumer for at least on an average cycle between 3 to 5 years. There may be still a consumer who may be running the vehicle for 8 years, 10 years or more. But whatever been produced those years back, today the technology may not be able to support, the way the environment has to be taken care, and for that, what kind of governance has to be put in place. So a lot of action as a individual and a lot of action as a car manufacturer or vehicle manufacturer has to put in. And I've been fortunate to be involved with a lot of such association to see that it is not driven just as a company level. It is the individual responsibility. The individual has to deliver it. Individual has to feel the pain of the others around them. And then only you can actually probably reach to the optimum level of what ESG or governance is desired to be.
Okay. So as an ESG and corporate governance expert, Mr. Mehrotra, what values do you bring to the table?
I think I would be probably repeating the same, but I think doing the things right, in a simple layman language, doing the things right from the starting to development cycle to the user cycle to the scrap cycle, whatever you call it. I think overall, I'm talking more from the industry I have been associated with, but the similar thing would be applying to individual manufacturer, individual industry, and individual users. So from that point of view, I think how well you are able to communicate, how well you are able to communicate with all the stakeholders. Um, Also not thinking about today, but think about tomorrow. So whatever you are doing today, or keeping the life cycle in the consideration, that you are able to take care of ESG and score values going forward over the years to come. So that is what will define what we do today. The user or the environment or individual citizen will going to experience few years later. So I think the impact for the future has to be quite well kept in mind.
All right. So moving ahead, automotive industry and technology go hand in hand. So I would like to discuss the impact of technology on your professional landscape. So here is my question to you. What are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology, that is part A? And what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, digital twin, Web 3.0, etc.?
I will take you back. Maybe I don't know whether you may be aware of, maybe your father would be aware of. I'm sorry to say that way. But the thing is, because of my age, I'm talking in that line. When I joined the industry, when the first electronically controlled car has come, that itself was a change. The first time today, the consumer, the youngster would not know that there used to be a tube in the tire. So that also changed. So I think this goes as simple as that. But coming to today's time, uh, I think every time, every year, there is something getting better and better. In terms of IoTs, AIs, and all kind of digital interfaces which has come. I think this has made the life easy. At the same time, it will make the life difficult for user as well as for the developers, both ways. So I would say that these things has to be used very appropriately, and I would rather recommend have a balance between the human mind thinking and the digital, the data it is going to throw, and the way it could be used. It could be used, as we see that every day there's news coming in. It could be used for a very, very positive ways. It could be used for a destructive way. So I think what is more important, how well those are conceptualized and used and understood. On the industry part of it, where I come from, I think I have seen, the first car, the last company I was associated with, MG, was, the sold as internet connected car. So after that, you start seeing the multiple OEs and cars that started coming in. So what it start doing, whether it's IoT or AI or ML, you are able to predict. You can predict. I think the way the analytics and things will evolve in the future, IoT is able to connect you with the very difficult situation. God forbid something goes wrong with the vehicle, they meet with the accident. There could be auto communication to the central hub. We know where the cordials of the consumer is. You can actually reach out to the spot to help the customer to come out with a difficult situation, do the empathy, sympathy, and handhold and support in the hospitalization and things like that. I hope nothing goes wrong with anyone in the country, but those are the things in the positive way. In case something goes wrong, there is a proactive way to reach out. Similarly, the AIs or IOL itself, for that matter, the sensors and electronics plays a good part. Today you're using a car and you are dependent on whether you face a problem to go to the workshop, or there's a scheduled service for which you go to the workshop, then you realize something need to be changed. As the things are evolving, I think it will lead us towards predictive maintenance, predictive repairs, and thereby not a forced situation, but also consumer-based services. That is what is going to be a future. And it's still in my mind, but I think that's the way it may lead to. Similarly, the customer service or customer association or, diagnostic for that matter, the AIs and chatbot or virtual assistant plays a very good part. So much of data, so much of information for one car could be. Forget about multiple variety of the cars in the country, etc. So for any human being, it is impossible to remember all those details with the complexity of tech which is coming in. So that's where these kind of tools are going to be, or these kind of evolving tech is going to help in the future. But as I said, there are positive as we talk right now, what I'm speaking to, and it could be another way. But at the same time, there's a human mind who actually use all this. So my view always will be to go with a balanced approach. We should not be depending completely on these tech 100%. Apply the mind for the right uses and use the data for the right perspective. That's what I see that, and I think the journey on that line is just started. We have way to see that. I think we will experience that in our lifetime.
Mr. Mehrotra, thank you for sharing such amazing insights into different subjects. So this brings us to the last question of the session, and here it is. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the team of World Development Corporation?
I would thank World Development Corporations and Jishan and Hemal and the entire team for this initiative. Actually, India has a lot of talent, and we have seen, kind of leadership position have, in most of the big organization, you'll find Indians are placed. But, sometimes this knowledge sharing or awareness is very, very limited to your domain. I think you don't know what's happening around. You don't know individual who are doing and excelling their field. Probably you can pick up something from them. So from that matter, I think excellent initiative. And I compliment for that. I'm looking forward to many more sessions going forward.
Great. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that our insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh Mehrotra, for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you. Have a nice day.